We dare to talk.
What you're afraid to say, so
So you
you
get
can
to
shoot
us.
us.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi, no coffee filter here. I'm
Yeah.
under the sexy frothy coffee of 4-in-1 Coffee Podcast.
And this is Jun Jun, your blonde coffee.
Hi
Let's
guys.
filter. What is this? No, let's explain to them. What's
Yes.
no
So what is
filter?
a no coffee filter? Sa ni Job.
So, no coffee filter is a new format that we are developing for 4-in-1 Coffee Podcast. So we're
Oh my
going
god, it's
outside
English.
the audio thing. So right now you're seeing our faces means we're doing video.
Obviously.
Yes. And because this is no filter, we're gonna talk about everything that has not been someone has not been talking with. That's about
That no filter, but everything that had been filtered.
nah, no.
Oy.
So
Diba?
this is
Like,
everything
this is,
under the moon, guys. So
yes.
yes,
I mean,
no censorship.
no censorship
So you're
and
never gonna
on
hear.
like for the open-minded only. So, babala.
Yeah. Disclaimer for those who are minors, dapat tulog na kayo.
And also to all my relatives and friends, don't watch this if you don't want to get to know the real answer joke.
So right now, Arthur, what are we gonna talk about?
So
What are we gonna
our
talk about?
topic is actually dun, 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 drum
I'm eating.
roll. Dili de drum roll. Sex positivity. Ding ding ding.
Yeah. What a nice way to open our first episode than to talk about something that we in Bohol doesn't really like to talk about.
Yes, and we really want to talk about it. Someone has to talk about it. Someone has to start the conversation, and we volunteer ourselves. Friends, don't watch this, please, and friend family.
Disclaimer, we're not professionals. We're just opinionated people and with a lot
Yes.
of experiences.
Siya raw, ako inabot, guys. May hapras akong kapon. But I'm all for conversation. I'm all for, how do you call this? Like, let's just be open
Yeah, and
about
we
it.
hope you learned something from this silly talk show.
Silly.
So
They
right here, right
will.
now, there, so
What's
I'm gonna be speaking. I'm gonna speaking in the behalf of the LGBT sector because we all know that sex, even in the LGBT
Yes.
community, especially in Bohol, it's a
A
taboo.
taboo. Exactly. And sa akong side, di pa ko sure sa akong sexuality, guys. Sure ko nga, ganahan kong bae. Wako kay baw, ganahan ko bae. Wow! Sure ko ganahan kong laki. I'm still thinking about ganahan pa kong bae, but exploring. But anyway, as a biological woman sa Bohol, I really want to have the conversation kay conservative kayo ang people, and usually it's taboo among women to talk about this like the way Jum Jum and I talk about it. Like, no filter, like no judgment. This is a safe place.
Yeah, and the opinion of each other is our own opinion.
Yes. It's no one else.
It does not reflect the opinion of the other four in one podcaster.
Yes, and all Boholanos. That's not.
Yeah, and all Boholanos.
Yes, it's not a reflection of all Boholanos, but it's something that we'd like to change, and
So
maybe,
where are we going to start with, Anton?
yeah, maybe definition sa sex positivity.
Yes, yes, yes. I think we should start with definition.
Definition, we brought it here. Just to make it clear, because I don't really know what it is. Like, I'm just like trying to understand it like from the context nga sex positivity. Pero I just want to know what is it like. So here it is. Sex positive movement. Ingon si Wikipedia. Sex positivity is an attitude towards human sexuality that regards all consensual sexual activities as fundamentally healthy siya, and pleasurable, encouraging sexual pleasure and experimentation. So I think I'm really struck with the terms here na important kayo, consensual, it's healthy, it's pleasurable, and experimentation. So, mo na mga
Yeah.
important words, okay?
So in other terms, openness.
Yes, you're open, pero both of you should have like give each other the how do you call that, Zoom?
Yes, it should be like mutually understood by each other.
Oh, and you know
It
the
should be forced.
boundaries.
Kasi we have that term consensual, di ba?
Yeah,
And
oh,
if I'm
like
not mistaken, Anter, if they really want to know more about the thing about sex positive, naana siya sa to ang espresso chat. I think I had an episode about it. So
yes, yes. Kay Numdum ko.
what we
Yes.
will be talking right now is why it is not even acknowledged in our communities, labi na sa Bohol. Diba? Like for you as a woman,
Yes.
Anter, how difficult it is to talk about sex?
You know, the guy, like, like, pagkabata na ako, like, bata pa ko, like, I'm
Ba't
so
naman
curious
karon?
about it. Like, sukat pag pagkabata ba, like, I'm so curious about it. And it's weird that it's shameful to even think about it. Like, pagkabata na ko, like, shameful siya niya. Dako na lang ko, pag college ka na bitaw, I have no one to talk about it. And yeah, if you think about it, we should be talking about it. Kay, it's part of human life. Like, people do it. Kaya bitaw. Yeah.
I
It's
understand you had it in biology, di ba?
Oh, and then biology ra, pero like there are like mental aspects man good about it, like psychological aspects, social aspects of it. Like lahi ra nga kay bawo kung asa siya dapit sa home body, how it works, but like kada bitaw, how do I pleasure myself, or like how am I going to kind of pleasure someone else, like how are you going to give each other the consent, so no pag hibaw bitaw nga this is right, what are the boundaries, kada bitaw I didn't know. And I didn't even know nga there is something beyond like just a man and a woman doing it. Like there's so much more to it. Di ay? Kana bitaw. So,
Yeah, I mean, like I understand because we are raised in a culture where we are taught that sex should only be done for procreation, and in fact, it
yes,
should be something that's
exactly.
pleasurable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's the pleasure part ba yan, nga, encouraging sexual pleasure and experimentation.
Yes. Okay. Pero ito, if you are doing sex and it's pleasurable, you feel like you're guilty and like you're a sinner already.
Yes! Kana bitaw
So
guilt, bitaw nga, I'm doing something wrong, I'm gonna
I'm
be
doing
put into
something bad.
hell.
I'm doing something dirty.
Yes! Kana bitaw, no, you're not. Like, it's
And yeah,
okay. If you're both
sex can
okay with it,
be,
it's
sex
okay.
can be dirty, guys.
I mean, come on. It is dirty if you think about if you're in your right mind. It's actually disgusting to think about it.
But I mean, yeah, and that's why we are here to talk about it. And sometimes don't forget the word consensual. No, that it
Kana,
should be
like,
safe also. It should be
yeah.
safe for both parties. Dili pwede nga you're just having sex na bisag kinsa and like you're spreading disease like wildfire.
Kana gyud. Like, safe, it should be safe and with consent. Kay, I think the reason behind I'm very frustrated that no one's talking about it is the lack of information. And the lack of information is actually making the practice unsafe.
Yes,
Kay, no
yes.
one's talking about it. When I was a kid, I didn't even know that there was such a thing as STD. And then,
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
yeah, and then, no one's talking about it nga. You have to use, wala in taon na sa among bio. Pag high school, taphaw ra, kay magpati ang maestro, maglisod og storya, bahin og sex ka ng safe sex approach. But this has to be talked about. Like, I'm so passionate about it kay I don't want that the kids to have kanang the wrong kind of thoughts about it bitaw niya kana sang it should be fun for both sides kana gyud.
Yes.
It should be fun for both sides. It shouldn't be namugus ka sa tao. Like both
Mm.
of you should.
It should be delicious and yummy, like what I'm eating.
Delicious. Sali kagay kakali pagawas ako ni Maribe. Ako po.
Anyway, I remember during my high school days, imagine na I'm math teacher is even the one who was showing us a condom.
Really?
And is not even the proper person to talk about it. So, nana siya katabu ba nga, bisag ginsa na lang, and like imagine how young we were in that age that we get wrong information about sex.
Exactly. Exactly. Unya, kana bitaw even our own elders are not comfortable talking about it and are not well informed kay tungod pod kay conservative pod ang ilaha pong previous generation. And I wanna stop the, how do you call this, stop the cycle ba nga, the conversation should start somewhere. And even, in fact, I think it should even be best nga it starts at home. Kay, halimbawa na ka, og mga teenagers, bitaw nga, you just talk among yourselves.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious because you talk about it na it should be talked about by someone professional and it should be talked by at home. How did
Yeah.
you learn to use the condom?
Ako, kabaw ka? It's so sad. It's porn.
This is a no coffee filter zone now.
Porn. Porn. Like,
Oh
I
my
swear.
God.
I think so, yeah. Oh.
Do
Like,
you
I
think
think,
it's reliable?
dili man, like, if you've seen so many, you know how it works at some point. Kaya bang it just clicks, and then, dili na porn, like, media, not necessarily porn, like, media, naaman say videos, pod actually, like, I cannot really remember, like, the exact
No,
time
but
I figured
I
out.
was just curious. You googled it and then
Yeah, I googled it. di ingana ako ka curious nga, I always look for reliable sources man, like porn is just like a part of it. Kuan god fact checking god zoom, like dili god porn tanan.
no, but I mean, was it correct? The information you get when you apply it already, when you had it,
Hala, hala, what is that?
application,
Wait,
it's
ang
correct.
application, sorry ha, like I only once, well, one partner lang ako gigamitan.
Sino ka nakasuot?
Ha? Siya gasuot. I mean, siya gasuot. I mean, it's not... Pero I know how to put it on, by the way. Guys, kabaw ko, okay? Kabaw ko. But the thing is, I think, yeah, usa na siya sa important kayo nga.
No, but yeah, ladies should know how to
Yes, it
something
shouldn't
to the
be like
men.
put on the naman. Ni, ang ako asa na kay safety man god. Like, you don't even know if like the guy wore it properly. You also have to check. Kaya na mo ka kay Bob bitaw nga ganang gisabotage sa eye or like iya ding gihusto ka na bitaw like ilaron ka. No.
Yes, yes. Like,
So like
ano ba daw, they say nga condoms does not are not effective in the buntis puno, but are you sure they were using properly the condom?
yes, exactly. Like ka na bitaw. Girl, you should have also educated yourself. Oy, on the end po sa men ha, like it's not just like kanang on the sexual act itself. I think both men and women should learn about each other. Kay mapungot kay kuan na mga laki bitaw nga explain pa nimo ang period. Like what? Like what? Kana bang, I mean, I'm ashamed to also say nga I also don't know like the man's body that well, pero I really do think that it's time that we put aside the shame of being curious about each other's body. Okay? Why not, diba?
I mean, like, why are we not ashamed of being curious about our eyes, our nose,
Oh! What
our
about
hair,
that?
diba?
Oh!
But we're shy, we're so like afraid to talk about our boobs, our penis, our vagina, which
Yes!
is
Oy,
in
oy!
fact part of our human body.
Yes! Exactly yun niya ang ako asad, no? Like, as a kid, bitaw, who was so young, to have had my period like 9 years old go. First time na ako na period. Imagine na, 9 years old. And then at 9 years old, a lot of people were already asking if high school na ba ko. Like I really looked like a young lady na kinana ko yung boobs and whatnot. Do you know how terrifying it is when someone tells you you should be careful already die like pagbantay na die kay dagan na biya ka. I don't know what they meant. Like usay pasabot nila pagbantay like dagan na ka yung nga bitan niya like mabuntis na kanya bro usay na mahitabo akong dugo like kana bitaw right ako what the hell like usay na mahitabo dugo ako like what like usay la pasabot nga mabuntis ko niya and because no one talks about sex nga mo din nila pasabot nga men could get aroused kay na ako yung boobs but I didn't like wearing bras and I didn't know about these things tungod kay no one was able to communicate it properly with me. Ilan kung ngayon no, pagbantay na dahil mo rin ko gusto sa like, what was happening? Kaya bitanya, I didn't know ba nga boobs were like a big deal there for men. So, like,
Uh,
I've learned it when I was like almost 30. So like, hi guys, nadi ko yung boobs. Which is sad really kay tungod lagi kay we have such a negative attitude towards sex.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Pero
going back to the condom thing, even for the LGBT community, so let's put kayo on HIV because there are lots of gays who are having sex and doesn't even use condom.
really, abi no, that's like a given.
No, it's
Really,
not. Like, that's the misconception, di ba? Nga, like, if you're gay, you
you
should,
know.
you know, and
Oh,
I mean, you should. But the fact is, like all other heteromans, gays don't like to have sex nga na condom.
I mean, let's yeah, let's put that fact down. No one wants that.
Who wants to eat banana with rubber on it?
Yeah, pero kana bitang in
But
the
I mean,
end it's
it's
all about safety
protection.
so that you can
Yes,
do it
that's
more
it.
often.
And then, and because they also don't know that there's another choice that they could make kung gusto ka na ng condom. PrEP is available actually for
What's
those who
that?
don't know. It's a kind of new medicine right now that will help you prevent HIV. Prophylaxis. I
Is that
forgot.
oral?
Yes, it's like a pill. It's no, it's not like a pill. It's a pill that you have to take.
Just like a
But
pill.
yeah, but it doesn't protect you from other diseases like STD. So it
Just
only protects you
HIV.
from HIV. But I mean, condom as a basic kind of protection for girls and for gays and for other gender, it should be taught, diba?
Yes, exactly. Like
It should be taught.
both. Both.
Yes.
Kuan sa Jom,
Ah,
like sa ako ang end lang pod na curious ko, like how did you come about sex positivity pod sa imong life? Like who taught you? Did you teach yourself?
actually, I don't. Um, I don't know how I come up with it, but I I I explored sex along the way. I think I don't know if it was discussed in a prior podcast, but I was in terms with my sexuality when I was already around 20s, early 20s, like 23, I
What do you
think.
mean by sexuality? Like your sexual desires or like
Yes, I was like comfortable that, and I'm decided that I'm gonna have sex with men because I
mm,
don't see myself having sex with women,
oh,
and that's where I started exploring. And sad to say, because it was not. Let's be honest. Gay sex is not taught in biology. It's not even taught
yes,
in school.
yes. Like it just exists in man and woman doll. Like
Yes,
really?
and darling, sex is not for man and woman only.
Yes. Let's be con about it,
Let's
di
be
ba?
realistic, diba? I mean, like,
Yeah.
we all know here in Bohol, people were like, "Ah, you're gay. You're a sinner. You're not the
Yeah.
anak sa Ginoo." But my God, we're
What?
already in the 2000 era. Oy, we're already in the progressive. Let's not think backwards, babe.
Di ang ako aman sa good kay tungod lagi kay taboo siya but I'm pretty sure nga na ay people who practices it under
Yeah.
the table. 'Di ba? Like why can't we just talk about it instead? Like wala lang. Like
I mean,
ag ako
even
lang ba?
even
Like
even even LGBT communities talk about it in Bohol, like pinahunghung pa, and like
na
they
exactly
should
which is
hear
sad.
about it. And then
Even
like
among your community, di ay?
yeah, even for those katong like tawag ani, Merk, kung ikaw ang someone who will talk about sex publicly, the other LGBT groups will label you as someone nga basa,
What do
or
you mean basa?
the ones that are kanang bitong the stereotype of a gay kanang tasog buhok nga sabaan,
Oh,
the
okay.
loud ones, the flamboyant ones.
Yeah. So
You
you're
you
like
will be marked as
like
as
that.
level like an ana like the I don't want to say uneducated, but that kind of level
That
of
yes, yes,
gay.
yes.
So murag, huh? Yan ang man nga man sex is part of who we are as a human.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
why do we shush people when we talk about it?
Yeah. Like to be honest, yun, like I always wonder, like labi na og babae sad, like
Mm-mm.
na, di ba? I think basically we have a term for it, slut. Maski among the LGBT community, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like the idea is like you're a slut, and kana bitong I don't like the idea nga the word slut has such a bad connotation. Like so what? So what if you're so in touch with your sexual desires? Like ano di ay? As long as I'm not harming anyone, it's everything is like with consent. So what? Like I'm enjoying myself. I'm not harming anyone. I'm a slut, so what?
And it's your body. Come on.
Yes, exactly. Like,
You have
why
to
are we
decide
judging?
about you have to decide for your own body. It should not be other people dictating kung ano mong happen with your own body.
Yes. I wish someone would have told me that when I was in my early 20s. Okay, I swear kay Boka, like grabe daghan ako kay imagination bitaw like oh I wanna do this, I wanna do that. Yung grabe bitaw kung oh but it's wrong. But karon ako ka-realize mga what were you talking about? It wasn't wrong. I-
It's really high time that people should go out of the box and talk about sex as something that is this is part of our daily everyday life.
and something to actually not be ashamed of.
Yes.
And
It's something
something
to
you
connect
could
with.
actually enjoy without guilt. That word guilt. Naginom na sad ka sa imong favorite nga drink nga katong baso.
Dahil this is only the baso, but I'm drinking Coke. Coffee, sex, and Coke.
Naikof, coffee na ko. But anyway, kung na siya. So, ang imuha pasabot bali is sa imuhang and naka-explore na kag sex positivity along the way. No one taught
Along the
you,
way, actually. I mean,
same,
I didn't even know about the term sex
the
positivity
term.
until yesterday, until last year or the other year. Wala
Ako
ba?
sa like ikaw biya ako ang so ako sa na nga term niya. I didn't know nga it has a term. Ang ako alam ba kay the idea is why can't we just talk about it niya. Pero ako na shock
Yeah.
ko nga there's a term for it. Like I'm so happy nga there's a movement there. Like I'm not alone about like this feeling. Kay I remember back then I had this friend way back in college. We don't like keep in touch anymore, pero we do talk about it. And then I did like open up to him nga, don't you feel like when you're in Bohol, like no one talks about it and it's weird because it's actually normal and like tiguang na but still afraid to like even say the word sex kana bitag imong yung pag check niya murag iklaro ra og storya kana sex okay ra na okay ra
Iyot,
igo
guys.
ng
Iyot.
word iyon.
Oh, look at you. You're laughing when you talk about iyot.
Hindi, ka nang, the word, good, I don't know, say, nasod sa huna-huna sa nag-imbento sa word, but I think they really wanted it to sound like that. Mura good sa word nga utot, di ba? Funny siya, paminahon, mura nga na good. Pero, uy, word na wonder ba ako, like, unsa na siya nga word? Is that a exclusively Bisaya word? I have a
Ang
feeling nga
iyot.
kasabot ang mga Tagalog about like about the term, or like is it because the Bisaya brought it to them?
I think it's Bisaya brought it to them, but basically, um, I don't know. Let's ask Google, but it's rooted in Spanish.
Oh really?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, unsa ang original word?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, di ba puerta is door,
Yeah.
and then I think it's a derivative of some way in there.
Asa man ang
Let's
iyot?
let's have that for another discussion.
Okay. But anyway, we're flying around. So,
Yeah.
sa ako apong end, I'm actually a very late bloomer, pero akong exposure is online. Like, before I did it with someone physically, I experimented with someone online, like on video, someone like told me to do this and do that. I'm like, ato pa ko nag-explore ba nga, kaya din ni sa ako ang ba, JJ?
No, but I have to admit, I love porn, and I discovered about it late na. I mean,
Uh,
when I was even young, my early form of pornographic material is a magazine, no, kanang coffee book.
really?
Yeah, so it's an artsy porn material, a coffee book,
Wow.
and the shots are not really like
Super nude. Uh,
it's like imagine like men and women naked, and then
uh,
the background filtered in like kanang universe,
wow. Universe.
the artsy niya. I jump off with it.
Really? Wako kay Bo. Like, naay magazine sa bay. I don't know who they were, basi sa akong papa or sa akong uncle. I don't really know, pero naa. And then, pero even as a kid, like, fascinated na ko kayo to play with myself. Like, bata pa ko kayo. I was aware nga you could do that to yourself. Oh, and then, weird
Yeah,
kayo ba kay
I started masturbation when I was 12.
younger pa ko, Jung. Like, like which is weird but I was so ashamed of it kay bata bitaw ka there's always that thought bitaw like societal expectation of bata ka you wouldn't know about it. I don't know how I learned about it by the way. I guess like I just discovered nga lami lagi ni siya I wanna keep doing it. I didn't have a name for it and yan na type kasi 3 times nga nasakpan mo ko joke. And they were all like, "What are you doing?" Ya, marami ko, "Why? What has it? What was I doing?" Ya, kana bitong connotation dayon nga sayop siya like ipakawawan ka. Marami to gingana. I mean, they didn't go further good pero murag mo tong na feel ba nga it's supposed to be something that I should be ashamed of myself. Pero
Yeah,
looking back,
if that instant your parents would have taught you
yes, it would have been an
everything.
opportunity to teach me about
Yeah.
it, but no one taught me about it. Okay, they didn't even know how to properly teach me about what a period is. Like, ingnon lang ko nila kayo pag dagan-dagan o gidugo ka. Like, what? Mo na. Like, pag-expect na magsakit, yung tiyan. Okay. Mabubwis ka. Pagkita ko, mo ni. Like, there's some, like, grabe. Like, karon na rin ko naka-realize nga, og na ako'y anak, like, you're gonna be so woke. You're gonna have a woke mother. Like, I swear, like, opportunity yung tato to teach bitaw nga. Kay ka, pagkabata, good na ako kay, every time gani, mag-joke bitaw ng mga adults nga, pagamping, ang tar kay kanang, unsaon na lang, kanang magama og bagoy mo, mamagpapa niya. Every time I think about it, kay kanang bitaw, murag na factory bitaw nga magama silang bata. wala ko'y idea ba nga, that's how it works. Nga, bro, sige, kung gano'n na, usaon nila paghibo og bagong anter.
Assemble.
Oh, like mag-assemble niya. Pero kung, hala, saan mo na nga para murag yung panit kay humok niya. Usap na kahoy nga humok niya. Sige, kung gunaw na, like yun. Like, basig plastic nga, mabuhi lang siya.
Once upon a time,
Oh, my joke, I was a kid. And before pa to, ha, I mean, was ko kay Bao? Like, I didn't even know how pregnancy works. Like, I just know it feels good to touch it there, but I didn't know, like, how someone would get pregnant.
and
Like,
probably you don't know why it's there, di ba?
oh, kana bitaw. It's there. Kana bitaw. Okay, like it feels nice to touch it. Like wait, grabe, like bata pa gud ka. I swear. I think I was probably like younger than 8,
No, I mean, like,
younger than
honest ka
7.
rin, even my niece, no? But
Ah,
doon sa ako ang sister kay when he's trying to play with his penis, but
ah,
can I mean, I'm not, who am I to teach the kid? I'm not the father or the parent.
yes. Pero it
But
shouldn't be
I mean, that
shamed.
should be, that should be a chance that she could have taught the kid what is it all about and why he's doing it.
Yes, yes. And then why does it feel good? I bet the kid wonders why does it feel good.
Yeah,
Kada
what
bitaw,
is
feel
good.
gini. Yes, and it's an opportunity ba? And then mo pa na ako actually kay the parenting aspect man good pod. Depende lagi sa giun sa pagka pag-raise. Kaya I think man good imuhang igsuon og katuyamba na like they don't know about it.
They don't know that.
They don't know how to open up ba about it. Like how do you tell a kid about sex? Like what?
Yeah, for young moms and fathers there, please.
Yes. There's a proper way to have the conversation and you shouldn't
Yeah,
actually.
we don't have the next generation of perverts and kanang mga bata na
Yes.
deprived of information about sex.
Okay. Yeah, if you think about it, diba, would you rather be the one providing them the information rather than them unguided looking for it online themselves? Ang delikado mo gud hinuna na kay they might get hinon the wrong
Wrong
notion.
information, yes.
Like kay like especially porn, no one talks about in porn about consent, which is very
Yeah.
important by the way. What if sa
Yes,
porn na nila
and you have to
ma-learn?
know that porn is a very impossible kind of
Yes, and they have to know nga these things are scripted. Like,
these are
girl,
acts.
yes, and it doesn't happen like that. Like, for your, akong first time, nga, palamuot yun ako ang first time. Like, I swear, I expected it, by the way, nga na, kay tungod I was aware nga, it doesn't go smoothly usually sa first time. Pero mo to, kasi ikong katawa sa first time.
And because you thought that it's the same as porn.
And then I was aware nga it's not the same as porn. Kailan kay ko ba nga, it doesn't work that way. Kay katulig yung gingon ninyo nga, I already had experience with it online. I mean, like, I was doing it with someone online, but yato ko ka-realize nga, it's not as steamy as porn says it. Grabe to. I thought it was grabe na ko expectation kay mo lang ito porn ako first exposure promoto. 'Di ba? It should have been an opportunity for parents to teach you and guide you properly. Maupod na, parents,
Yeah.
educate yourself. Don't be
Educate
ashamed.
yourself, educate your children. Don't rely on Google and porn. But
Yes.
thank God for porn.
O, nabi ay genre nga homemade. I prefer them, by the way. I learned a lot from those, like, homemade stuff. Real couples. Like, grabe. Like, ko nga, like, I force myself to watch boring porn. Kaya I know those are, like, the actual, like, the closest to the real thing.
And you could imagine, no, if we raise our kids like that, and we also have to stress out the importance of consent,
Consent.
of
Yes.
safety.
Kanag
You
yun.
know?
Safety and consent. Like, big deal yun na kayo na ako. Mo na akong pasabot sa mga parents nga guided. Like, unsa di ang consent? How can you do
Yeah.
it properly? Like, and what do you mean by properly? Like, manggawas tanan na ang STD, manggawas tanan na ng
Early
pregnancy nga,
pregnancy.
you shouldn't get someone pregnant accidentally, unplanned pregnancy nga na ba? So, important siya. Like, sex positivity. Parents, please. Ako, nanak ko anak. I mean, who knows? Ha! Ay, CMJ.
I mean, like, there's so lots of things we want to talk about sex positivity, guys. But this is just the first episode, and
Yes.
you know how it gets when we had it already. So expect more of unfiltered topics in the following days, weeks.
Yes, on the following episode. So, kuan lang ni kanang, how do you call this? Kanabang,
Kasi una.
patikim ba nga? Oh, guys, patikim.
I mean, yes. We would love you to hear. What we would love to hear more about what you want to talk about. Now, nobody's talking about.
Yes, that you want for people to
Us.
start talking about, so we will do it for you.
We will talk it out for you,
We will sacrifice our dignity for you.
and we're not drunk, huh?
Yes, imagine that. Di pa may hubog, guys. Saan na lang mag-inom yung jum-jum. I mean, dali kay ko mahubog, guys. Alkansi ko.
We will talk about drinking soon.
Oh, usasad na. Like, we need to talk about it. Di ang ako asad kay drinking is a very social thing. So I think nindot siya storyaan like unsa day protocol drinking. Pero kana bang safe practices ba kay na magiuban nga pataka lang bitaw like gisa-gisa
Yeah.
mag-inom, which is not also safe kay we're gonna get back na pod sa sex positivity nga you could actually be taken advantage of.
Yes, sir. That's
Yes.
it.
So, na siya. So, hopefully, namin na-learn or chika
And
ra
how
ng
hopefully
jum-jum.
you enjoyed our silliness in front of a camera.
Yes, like, guys, I mean, hello, nagpakawaw na mix so good sa nga. Pakita na na mo among naong.
And if you want to share this video, please share it with this tweet, you know.
Don't share it to our family and friends. Bitaw.
Good thing, ang settings niyo when sharing it is it's not good for kids.
No, oy! Nag-advocate pa yatag education sa
Yeah.
kids.
That
Hello.
it can be, but it should be guided. It should be
Yeah.
guided.
What kids, watch it with your parents. Babala. Parental guidance is recommended.
I hope you enjoy our discussion for tonight, guys. And if you like us, give us a thumbs
Yes.
up, subscribe to our channel, follow Melancholy
Yes.
Podcast, and look for No Filter, No Coffee Filter. And this will
Yes.
also be available on Spotify and all other podcast streaming media. So,
Yes. Thank you so much for listening to our Chika Chika. Hope you learned something. Bye bye. We love you to all our
bye
fans.
bye. Ciao.
Bye.